inside the ropes every week with guests and great debates on the game. Backspin the Golf Show on Fox Sports 910.
The free AutoZone Fix Finder service can help troubleshoot the likely cause of your pesky check engine light for free and help you save time and money down the road. Restrictions apply. Get in the zone. AutoZone.
It's time for Fact or Fouhy with ABC 15 Sports Director Craig Fouhy. Fouhy joins the guys each Monday to break down the top stories of the weekend. And as a reminder, Manooch writes the questions. Now here's ABC 15's Craig Fouhy.
How we doing today, Fouhy? What's going on? How are you, Coach?
I'm doing well. I am mobile right now, fellas. Just moving all over the valley. Arizona Cardinals, Arizona State. Got all kinds of stuff rolling today.
Wow. All right, so we better get right to Fact or Fouhy then. Let's get to it.
Oh, man.
Yes.
I'm a busy guy.
Yeah, well, you figure, I mean, how busy everybody was yesterday with, you got Vikings, Cardinals, and then Suns, Rockets, Yotes, and Rangers. The busy weekend.
Lions and tigers and snakes. Oh, my.
Oh, all right. For question one, the Cardinals' constant play clock management issues, like using timeouts early, illegal procedure calls, the mental mistakes by this team, sit squarely on the shoulders of Cliff Kingsbury. Fact, Fouhy.
Well, listen, that's a fact. The head coach, the buck stops here, and I've said this for years with you guys. When you're losing, it's the coach's fault. When you're winning, it's the player's fault.
Yep.
So, right? It's their credit to the players when you're winning, and doggone it, fire that coach when he's losing. So this comes with the territory. Cliff knows that. It's a problem. I think I said yesterday. Remember how Bruce Arians had the accountability board?
Yes, yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah.
Monday that was up there if you made a mistake. I think they need to do Cliff needs to do like we do at Deadbeat Dads and get a billboard and put these guys' picture and name up on a billboard. Right?
Yeah.
Guess what would stop? Guess what would stop? There wouldn't be holding. There wouldn't be a bad snap by Billy Price. There wouldn't be two back-to-back holding penalties by Trey McBride. There wouldn't be a muff punt by Greg Dortch. There wouldn't be this, that. I mean, these are mistakes that guys continue to make, and whether it's clock management or timeouts and all that stuff. Listen, here's the problem with those timeouts, guys, and running late. Cliff Kingsbury's only on that headset for so long. Mm-hmm. That shuts off. Mm-hmm. So at what point do you transfer that to Kyler and what's going on in the huddle? Now, I know they huddled this week because they had two new offensive linemen in there. So where is that responsibility? Cliff's only on the headsets for so long. They shut that off at 15 seconds. So there's only so much you can do.
Well, make the plays maybe a little shorter, or now you see Kyler wearing the wristband to help that out a little bit too. I think to your point, Coach, just the consistency in these gaffes week in and week out, it drives me nuts. I mean, you were coaching, I was playing. We didn't see this maybe 1, 2 or 3, 4 times a year with the play clock issues. It just drives me nuts to see this.
Well, now it's a chess match. Everybody's substituting personnel, and so the offense is waiting to see what the defense is substituting. Defense is waiting for the offense. So you're constantly pushing that clock. And then, like I said, because I think they've had something like 12 or 13 different offensive linemen so far this year in 8 games, something like that. And yesterday it's Billy Price, at center, and Billy Price just snapped the ball. Nobody even knew it was coming, right? It was like nobody was looking. Yeah. It was just like, where'd that come from? I know you're on a silent count, but you're waiting for that left guard to give you that arm signal, and he just snapped the ball. So those kind of things happen. Trey McBride, Zach Ertz cutting off a pattern instead of going deep. Kyler throws it deep, right? He cuts it off. I mean, all those kind of things are just mental mistakes that guys have to be responsible for at some point.
All right, Coach, question number 2. The Cardinals defense has gone backwards the last 2 weeks and giving up close to 500 yards last week to the JV team known as the Saints and close to 400 yards this weekend. Fact or Fouhy?
Well, fact. And listen, you guys have been, everybody's been lauding the defense. Vance Joseph's going to be the next head coach. This defense is fantastic. They've been okay by NFL standards. They've not been world beaters by any means or stretch of the imagination. And I know you have to play complementary football. The offense has to do their part. Special teams have to do theirs. Defense has to do theirs. I think this defense is what it is. I mean, they didn't address cornerback in the offseason. They did not address a pass rusher in the offseason. We knew they were going to struggle coming back with issues with Zaven Collins. And I will pat Zaven Collins in the back. He's been much better than we thought he would be. Isaiah Simmons struggled for a couple of games. He's now back to form. Byron Murphy, everybody thought Byron Murphy's the greatest thing since sliced bread. He's been okay, not great, but okay. He's had a good season, not great. So you're talking about a team that just doesn't have a lot of superstars outside of J.J. Watt when he's healthy, Budda Baker, Jalen Thompson. There's not a lot of guys in that defense. You go, man, that guy's all pro. This guy's going to be great. So the defense is what it is.
All right, here we go with this one then. Rondale Moore, 7 catches plus a touchdown. Was he the biggest highlight of the Cardinals' offense yesterday? Factor Fouhy.
I'm sorry. Did we forget DeAndre Hopkins?
Yes, I'm just, hey, Manouche writes the questions.
13 targets, 12 catches, 159 yards, and a one-headed spectacular catch in the end zone for a touchdown.
That's expected.
Oh, I guess
that's expected, Coach.
Rondale Moore was so much better. Oh, come on. Stop it.
That was expected for D-Hop to have 25 catches in a game and make the circus catches. I mean, we expect him on them. So on the side of Rondale, since that's a fact, I know it's a fact or Fouhy.
Yeah.
No, it's not. That's a Fouhy on Rondale Moore.
But okay, and then to kind of bring that back, is it about time we see Rondale Moore get more involved in the offense? Factor Fouhy.
Oh, yeah. Well, if that's another question, yes, that's a fact. And he was getting close to becoming an Andy Isabella, right? I mean,
yes.
You pick this guy up, and where is he? What's he been doing? And so, yes, it's about time we saw him doing some things. And he had a great touchdown run. That was fantastic. He said today, just a bit ago, he was expecting more defenders to be there, and they weren't. So he had a lot of open space to run. But, yeah, we're starting to see that's why we drafted the kid. If he can stay healthy, that was his issue at Purdue as well. So if he can stay healthy, he's got some skills.
All right, Coach, question number 4. ASU quarterback Trenton Bourguet needs to remain the starting quarterback for ASU this year and next year. Factor Fouhy.
We're catapulting past UCLA and just going on to next year.
Damn, Skippy.
Apparently
Absolutely, man. I ain't messing around no more. He's the guy. He's behind the pocket.
Listen, if he would have started against Stanford, they probably would have won that football game on the road, right?
Sure,
I mean, there's no question. Trenton Bourguet, we were saying that when he came in that win against Washington. Keep him as the starter. And I know the coach's age-old rule is you don't lose your starting position because of injury. But in this case, Trenton Bourguet is the better quarterback. Keep him there.
Thank you, Coach. I'm going to get one today.
Now to the NBA, Coach. Devin Booker's averaging over 30 points per game, 4 of the first 6 games, and he is trending now. Is he the best 2-guard in the NBA? Factor Fouhy.
Don't trade him. Keep him here. Listen, I'll take Devin Booker over just about anybody else in the NBA. Clearly, he's an all-star. He's a guy that should be a perennial all-star. He's playing with an abandon this year and a recklessness. He's just playing really well, very aggressive. He's going after it. He's got a new mentality this year. He's kind of pissed off that they got beat against Dallas in the second round last year in the summer. But yes, I mean, I think he's in that top 2 or 3 group in the NBA. Now, I know the question was, is he the best 2-guard? And I will say yes, because he can do so much more.
Okay, fair enough. Then let me follow up then on the Suns. With what you have seen so far from the Phoenix Suns, is this one of the better opening parts of the season that you have seen in years? Factor Fouhy.
Well, fact. Listen, they're playing really well, you guys. I mean, you can go. I've been around since 2000, so I've seen this team. Well, 98 actually. So I've seen this team go through some ups and downs. Had some great years in the early 2000s with D'Antoni and Nash, and then of course we hit rock bottom from 2011 to 2020, 2019. So yeah, I mean, I think this is a great start. They're better than what I thought they'd be because they just really didn't do much over the off season, right? Over the summer, it's kind of like, yeah, we'll get rid of Jay Crowder and let's run it back with the same group. So, but I've been pleasantly surprised with some of the guys off the bench.
Are you surprised then that nothing has been said about Jay Crowder, that they haven't been able to make some sort of deal?
No, Jay Crowder's Jay Crowder. I mean, that's a specialty kind of position. That guy's in a role that a team would need to have.
2 minutes.
I think they obviously are, they've put their foot down and said, we're not going to sign you to a long-term deal. And so you need to go out there with your agent to see which team wants you. And so I think that's kind of their stance.
So, Phil, you got anything going on tonight?
Anything at all?
Oh, my gosh. Are you kidding? I don't know if you've heard this, Rock, but the Phillies are in the World Series.
Yeah, little weather maybe could be an issue. Game time
Raining
now,
right
5
now.
o'clock.
Yeah,
So,
Raining now.
hey, the city of brotherly
That's
love's
the
having a
problem
lot
with
of.
the World Series.
I know. I'll invite you to the parade. All right.
I love it. I'll go with you.
Yeah, because I'm going to win the Powerball tonight. So then you're on my short list, Philly. You're on my short list.
I had a Mega Millions ticket and a Powerball ticket. Didn't win either one. I got a $30 scratcher and won $30, so I broke even there. That's my luck right now.
If you want to play, or if you want to win, you got to play, right?
play,
There you go.
That's right.
Hey, buddy, as always, thank you. Have a good night.
1 minute.
See ya.
So speaking of Powerball, it's going to hit $1 billion tonight.
That's amazing.
We're going to dive into that. Got some info I want to pass along on that. And when do kids become too old to trick or treat? It's our Valley Chevy random facts of the day